Welcome back to the European LCS, where H2K are just one win away from taking down the Mysterious Monkeys. The top team in Group B had full control in the opener, and are looking to take one step closer to first place. H2K have the blue side here, Mysterious Monkeys on the red, and we actually saw Amazing sitting by himself, not with the rest of the monkeys.
He's trying to pull a Reckless right there, which actually ended up working really well for Fnatic last, but when he started winning all the games, this might be what the turnaround Amazing is looking for. There's a chance it's also happening a little bit too late, since this is week 10. But hey, I mean, you gotta try it.
It's like their last game of this.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh, NIP did really well because they won a game, and that's really good progression for them.
They did.
And then they're gonna win the rest of the split. Oh wait, it's their last game.
Hey, promotion tournament is part of the split.
Can't ignore the promotion tournament.
Everything you said right there just fell flat. I'm saying he's pulling a Reckless.
It's kind of the story of when I cast with you as well. Most of the things I say fall flat in front of Star Guardian, Ezreal.
Wow.
In game one, Mysterious Monkeys fell a little bit flat to H2K. They were pretty dominant as well, Deficio.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That was quite a stomp. Early game picks, early game plays, heavily in favor of H2K, giving Jankos the Elise backfired for the Mysterious Monkeys. I kind of understand the plan they were going for. I think there was a bit of an issue as well in that the first rotation they would get Xayah and then give Tristana. So I'm like, that's not really a win for me. That's more like, we get one, you get one. Oh, by the way, you also got Elise, so...
And Thresh.
And Thresh. So you end up kind of losing out on the early trade. And that's kind of one of the problems. If maybe more AD carries have been banned away and you then took a Xayah, you could have gotten a big advantage from it, but not this time around.
And there's so many different options in that draft at the moment. H2K seems to be the kings of the draft, as they definitely won the draft in game one and perhaps are looking to win it in game two. They have decided to be on the blue side, Deficio. Mysterious Monkeys obviously decided for red in game one, trying to work their draft around that. And once again, we'll see Maokai and Zach the first two bans.
So not expecting the Monkeys to take the same trade as last time. I didn't feel like the Monkeys couldn't have won at all with that draft. There's more H2K just showed how cleanly they can play the early game, and that means you should respect it for game two now. The fact that, of course, they are showing up so much early on. So far, it is the same except for the Shen ban coming in a lot earlier for H2K compared to last game.
Does that change too much coming into this next phase? Because last time it was a Jarvan ban, which, of course, Kikis has been playing a lot in solo queue.
Yeah. I mean, they still banned the Jarvan here, so in the end, it didn't actually end up doing a whole lot. The Monkeys banned Kalista last time and then traded the Xayah for Tristana, which, as we said, was not really a huge advantage for the Monkeys. Therefore, we need to see something different. They do leave the Elise open again for Jankos, and funny enough, Jankos picks it.
No real surprises there. However, LeBlanc is still on the cards for the Mysterious Monkeys if they do want to select that. It was banned out by H2K in game one, but once again, a Xayah priority here from Mysterious Monkeys alongside that Gragas early on.
All right, so the Monkeys are clearly saying that early drafting was not an issue at all. It was all about plays in-game that needed to change. And I have to talk about Prolly's tie for a second. That is a beautiful tie he's wearing with the flowers. I think everyone should actually tweet at Prolly and tell him how nice the tie looks.
Is it at ProllyLol, I think it is?
I think it is, at ProllyLol.
At ProllyLol.
Tell him the tie's nice. Tie. Fits him very well.
You're quite focused on ties. Are you hoping perhaps we bring back best of two or something in Europe? It seems to be your sort of strategy.
Hey, I know this might actually get me killed, but I did like best of two.
Okay, I'm just going to hold down your cough button for the rest of the cast. You're not allowed to speak anymore. It's a Tristana and a Thresh pick here for H2K. Mysterious Monkeys looking perhaps towards their mid laner.
Yeah, so far H2K doing exactly the same. Last time Rakan was locked in by the Mysterious Monkeys. I think they're going to do the same here. Otherwise, with the Xayah pick this early, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because then I would actually prefer Tristana if you're just picking without the Rakan. So it should be Rakan here, unless they want to start getting some advantage for Cozq in the mid lane and trying to lock in his champion. So far, it seems that it will be just Rakan.
And that was the only lane, really, for Mysterious Monkeys that was able to stay even in the early game.
Right.
Got a few plays out of Dreams as well with the quickness. He obviously knows what he's doing with the Rakan. So I'd like to see a bit more focus for Mysterious Monkeys down there.
So there's one chance they can focus the bottom lane. The other chance is that the top lane is where they try and get Kikis a good matchup, so he's not just forced on the tower 20%. Because again, Mysterious Monkeys have found success in the early game when Amazing could go top lane. And due to Kikis, due to and gank the enemy top lane is where I'm trying to go here with this thingy. Basically, what happened last game against Kikis is exactly what the Monkeys wants to do against the enemy top lane. And that's what I'm trying to say, Medic. I'm just trying to wrap it around a little bit to see if anyone at home follows. And
do you like to rap? I'm looking forward to the
I am not a good rapper. I am probably the worst rapper ever.
At some point, well, you wrapped that one out pretty well. LeBlanc is going to get banned by the Mysterious Monkeys. Gnar, once again, from H2K gets removed. Obviously, the opportunity to flex that Gragas.
There is, and that's why Renekton could be their pick here for Kikis up in the top lane and just say, okay, you know, Renekton is on your side. You can try and push down Odoamne. Problem is that you are still dealing with an Elise on the side of Jankos, Medic. I know it was very funny.
I'm trying to think of what your rap album would be called.
I really know
the Pulsar Squad.
But it's just me.
The Pulsar...
The Pulsar Man?
The Pulsar Man, yeah.
Maybe.
It's like the Lollipop Man or the Ice Cream Man.
Nice.
You go around in your truck and you deliver Pulsar and rap to the masses, the adoring fans. It's an Olaf fan from H2K. Let's focus back in on this draft. Mysterious Monkeys sticking very much to the same as our H2K, and now MM do have a pick.
Yeah, but they have to... If they don't go Renekton here, why would Odoamne just not plug in Renekton again and just say, we have a Renekton Elise? What are you going to do? Your one strategy in the early game is camp amazing. Camp Kikis. I hate that top lane right now. Camp Kikis is normally the way for Mysterious Monkeys to win early. But if Renekton gets locked in here, they can't do that.
Okay. I totally agree that I think it's odd to leave the Renekton up. However, Mysterious Monkeys will know that as well. These are very intelligent guys. So what can they do to stop that Elise Renekton combo happening once again?
Nothing. Just go bot lane instead and play around the bot lane because you can't stop the Elise Renekton. But let's see if H2K wants to play it. There's a chance they want to try something different. Now they're up 1-0 already. It is the Lucian mid coming in for Febiven. So there we get a little bit of a change. It was banned, of course, in the second phase last time around. And if you are Odoamne, you're probably asking for the Renekton again, just to do exactly the same. But they don't actually know if it is Gragas top lane just yet. Oh, Cho'gath is open.
Cho'gath's been...
I mean, I guess that also works with Elise, so...
Cho'gath for Odoamne in the top lane, very strong still in the early game, and a lot of damage when you hit that level 6 with the Feast as well. Mysterious Monkeys trying to answer that. Jace is on the cards, something Kikis has played a lot in the past.
Yeah, again, the problem is you're against Elise. Like, Elise ruins a lot of these, like, snowball matchups, because you could pick Jace and say, yeah, let's try and win this lane and get ahead, but then you get ganked twice, and then you die because it's Elise, and then you're behind and you're useless. So you have to go for some of these slower matchups. That's what they're doing with the Trundle here. A problem for Trundle, though, is that his mobility is based on him running fast. Elise and Cho'gath have enough chain CC to stop this Trundle from ever, you know, getting out of there, and you can just lock him down early game and you can camp that lane so easily. Trundle is not strong in the early game, and I think this is a massive risk being taken by the Mysterious Monkeys by giving Elise over first of all, and now it could have been Renekton. It is Cho'gath though, so there's still a lot of potential for Odoamne and Jankos to pair up in the early game and just try and shut down Kikis.
Seems like H2K have just drafted pretty much exactly the same composition as in game one. That tie. This is why you don't like Unlimited as much, because he's not wearing a tie today. That's why the Mysterious Monkeys are losing. It's a bit like building Ardent Sensor. If you have a tie on your coach, you are guaranteed a win. H2K looking to close out a easy 2-0 against the Mysterious Monkeys, sending a message to the Unicorns later on, who play against Vitality after this very match.
Yeah, just like in the first game here, a lot of very strong lanes for H2K. A lot of ways for Jankos to get ahead early on. Of course, the Lucian is picked to try and win the mid lane and then use him to snowball the game. And that is exactly what they're trying to do. Expect Jankos to be around top and mid lane and let the bot lanes just farm even against each other.
H2K just one game away from a 2-0 sweep and a strong statement to the rest of the teams in the playoff tournament. H2K are not to be messed with. The Mysterious Monkeys will need to go ape to take the win.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to come back to what Amazing can do in this early game, because the draft has let them down perhaps slightly here, the Mysterious Monkeys.
No, it's just harder to play.
It's harder to play. It's harder to play. What does Amazing do to try and answer Jankos? He tried to match him up in the 2v2 in the last game. That did not go well for them. Can he switch up his strategy to try and help Mysterious Monkeys get through this rocky early portion of the match?
I mean, there's always the choice as a jungler to aim for early vision and try and just track the enemy jungler, and you try and tell your laners to play a bit safer. early on, and then you try and see if you can actually if you can predict the path of Jankos and put down an early ward. But there is, in this game here, because it's a Cho'gath and not the Renekton, there is, of course, still a bit of a chance that Amazing can actually try and join for a 2v2 fight, because early game Cho'gath, his damage is not very scary. Like, a lot of it is based on his scaling HP with, of course, his E and his Feast. So before that actually kind of kicks in, pre-level 6, especially without the Feast, you can definitely duel the Cho'gath. But it is harder because it is an Elise, and I think the main reason Odoamne even went for Cho'gath in this game was just because they wanted to play Lucian mid, so they needed some magic damage coming in from the top side, and that's what they're getting now. If they'd gone Renekton, maybe a bit too much physical damage on their side. Then you can always make the argument of saying, was Lucian then worth it? Could have just been an AP mage instead? Let's see what happens here.
Chei's going to get knocked up as Mysterious Monkeys try to take the first play of the game. Chei will be harassed down, and it's late enough that he cannot go back to the fountain without losing out a lot of XP in the lane.
I want to run more. Go ahead, Medic.
I can see why you haven't released that album yet.
I know. Hey, that was actually one of my songs.
What a blog.
So, I really want to follow Febiven in this game and see what he actually can do in the early game, because I have such a love-hate relationship with Lucian in the mid lane, because I really think he has so much potential, and if you are super good as a team to play around him and really snowball him, he's so strong. I just feel like so many teams in Europe always fail to do it. And then the Lucian gets like a few kills in the early game and you're like super hyped, and then he does nothing in the entire game.
So what do you do? What should you do if the Lucian gets ahead? How do you play around that? How do you snowball that?
I think using Lucian as a split pusher is super good because he's so strong 1v1 when he gets ahead, and also great mobility that makes it very hard to actually punish him in a side lane. A lot of teams end up just kind of grouping with him in the mid game and then not really using his full potential. So that's one thing I like to see. Obviously Cho'gath one lane, Lucian going to the other lane, and Nuclear can hold the mid lane in this game here. But remember guys, win condition for Mysterious Monkeys in every game is camp top lane early. That's what Amazing is doing. So Jankos, he's going bot lane.
Jankos is going to come down here. They're going to land the hook as well onto the Rakan. Dreams trying to jump his way away. Might be able to escape the heal. And he will get away. Escapes behind his girlfriend.
Everyone stays alive, but Amazing, he's angry. He snuck his way top lane because Kikis was pushing, waiting for Jankos to show up. He knew this guy's gonna go top lane. We're gonna counter gank him. Cho'gath won't help him. We're gonna kill him. Revenge from last game. And then Jankos shows up bot lane instantly and actually forces 3 summoners away from Mysterious Monkeys. And Amazing just had to recall, go back into his own jungle, didn't gain any advantage. And Jankos wins the first battle between him and Amazing.
And it sets back Yuki and Dreams in that lane as well. In game 1, they were one of the few stalwart hopes for the Mysterious Monkeys, one of the few lanes that was able to go even. Now they've had to burn the flash and the ignite onto Dreams. Dreams will get spotted out here as he roams around, trying to catch on to Febiven or just get some vision down, and Jankos might actually even look for the engage, because once again Chei has roamed up. We'll get the play back. Dreams jumps across the wall. There is a hook available on the Cocoon. The hook for Febiven trying to get the kill across the wall. First blood once again to H2K.
It's beautiful. They force the summoners in the bottom lane. Dreams just wants to be a good support and get a bit of vision for his mid laner, and then Chei and Jankos group up together. It's one of the things we love to see from supports. You know, leave that lane early, join in with your jungler, make some of these plays. And Chei on the Thresh with Jankos on the Elise ends up getting that first kill. Most of the credit has to go to the Cocoon landing from Jankos.
I think most of the credit goes to Febiven. He got the last hit. That's the most important thing. And actually, with that kill, he now has a 64-game streak of getting a kill in every single match he's played. It's the only player in EU to do it for the entirety of 2017, and across the split, he has looked pretty darn impressive.
Definitely one of the best players in the EU LCS, and very hard, I feel, to decide between Perks, Febiven, Caps, like who is the best mid laner in Europe right now. I did a fan vote on Twitter, Caps won. But
it's not really a surprise.
I mean, there's a lot of Fnatic fans, obviously, but Caps also deserve a lot of the praise. Perks came in second, and Febiven came in third on that list. But obviously, that was just one simple vote. Maybe someone else can do it, and they get different results. Let's see, Chei, you want some more kills.
Perhaps the best support in Europe with the best mid laner in Europe.
Tried to steal a Raptor there as well. Smart, really maximize the farm.
It as well.
That's a good setup. Chei obviously knew all along what was happening. Right now, Amazing didn't succeed with the first potential counter gank. He's still looking for one big explosive move with the body slam flash. But again, Elise with a good start, and the Lucian getting ahead early is important for H2K. You never want to fall behind his Lucian mid. You are completely useless. So it is important that Febiven gets the advantage.
Now they both hit level 6 in that mid lane as well. Does give Cozq the ability to perhaps roam around the map a little bit more with the Weaver's wall. Mysterious Monkeys try and get these shotgun approaches out. The teleport's going to come in top from Kikis.
All right. Q slightly off right there for Odoamne. He doesn't really care. He just walks away. You can definitely gank Cho'gath in the early game. Like, again, there's no mobility on this champion. Sadly, Kikis was not in position just yet for the actual gank, so a little bit of missed timing. And Odoamne, once again, stays alive. And I wonder if he's just going to go Bramble Vest. Yes, that's what he's going for. And then Ninja Tappy, and you just stack early armor. Trundle won't be able to kill you, and you just farm. You just trade farm. That's all you do.
But the Trundle isn't always intended to win the lane. We said it in Picks and Bans. He's not the strongest laner in the world, especially if he's trying to escape ganks. Later on, he is able to shred through those tanks a bit with his ultimate. So Mysterious Monkeys once again have a composition that if they can stay even, which they are relatively even at the moment, perhaps when we get later into the game, they do stand a chance.
I mean, there's definitely a chance in the late game. I like Taliyah versus big tanks like Cho'gath as well. There's a lot of squishy members on H2K though, where Trundle's ulti will not have that much value. We also have to remember that a lot of what Cho'gath likes to do, especially with the first few items, is to stack HP. Like, of course you get some armor and MR, but the main benefit for him is actually just pure HP. So the Trundle ulti, while it is effective, it's not the same as against like a Poppy or something who gets insane armor MR stats. Meaning that Kikis can only really ult on Odoamne for full value, and even then that doesn't really hurt Odoamne too much in this game, because he's just gonna have so much HP with also the Stone Plate being proc, and that's where his damage is gonna come from. Anyway, it is definitely still a fine pick for Kikis. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's not as impactful as it could have been against multiple tanks.
Jankos is spotting out amazing once again in the jungle. The Weaver's Wall comes out. It doesn't catch the spider, as Jankos is able to slip his way away down through the jungle once again. And this is a worry for the Mysterious Monkeys, because Amazing's general gameplay, his kill participation, his ability to be involved has declined over the last few weeks. We saw the graph in Game 1 that showed their early game has got worse and their objective game control has got worse over the last few weeks. And coming into the promotion tournament, they'll really want to be able to shore up this early game and shore up the ability to play around Amazing and his ability to read the map.
Yeah, and I think Amazing will be much better in the promotion tournament, because I don't think his mid laner will be under as much pressure. As we see in the LCS, like most of the time Cozq will get pushed in his lane, makes it harder for a jungler to be impactful. Amazing right now is top, despite of course Taliyah being pushed in, and he's going for the dive.
He's on a bush, on a ward as well. Kikis is tanking up the tower. Odoamne is low. Amazing does get the kill with the explosive cast. And the Mysterious Monkeys are able to play around this top side.
Exactly, this is the classic Mysterious Monkeys strategy. They have Kikis right now with a counter pick. They're trying to get Kikis rolling. Right, gotta remember, one of the changes to Trundle recently is the fact that his Q also now works on these turrets here. So if he gets ahead in the side lane, he can take down structures super, super quick. And he will be very hard to deal with. He's a very slow split pusher though. Many times, like, it takes a long time for him to really kill the guy in the side lane. It's not like a Fiora who can try and nuke you down in like one ulti duration. Jankos just checking all the brushes. Didn't find any.
Gardener just gets his scythe out, just checks through all of them, make sure there's no weeds.
It was more he spat on one of them and then he sent in a spider in another one. Like, you have weird gardeners in the UK. I'm not going to comment on that specifically, but I think he's just trying to find Kikis. Trying to find a troll in a brush.
Quite possibly.
Is that a standard thing in the UK as well?
Frozen, doesn't it? Just like, get one of the stone trolls out. But I want to come back to that top lane again. It's something we talked about a little bit this game, and we talked about a lot in Game 1 because of the disparity between Odoamne and Kikis. There was a 30 CS lead for Odo at the 10-minute mark in Game 1. Here we actually see Kikis being ahead because Jankos has not invested time up towards that top lane.
And also because it's not the Renekton from last time that we see here on the picture with Odoamne, which of course was the massive lane bully. That was kind of the thing, because they wanted to play Lucian mid, test that out once again for Febi, they had to get some AP damage coming in. That's why Odoamne had to be the man sacrificing himself a little bit. I still think he's going to be fine. The fact that he's only lost, one little kill in his lane as a Cho'gath is not terrible. Kikis, though, again, will try and just be the split pusher that can actually try and win the game for Mysterious Monkeys. And looking much better for them compared to last game, where at this point, I feel like they were down like 3k gold already.
There they were. They were definitely in a big deficit. Actually ahead in gold now at the 10-minute mark, only by a tiny amount. H2K now need to show us that they can play without having a devastating early lead. They've been consistent over the last few weeks. I want to see that consistency continue because they are not as far ahead with an early ganking jungler as we would like them to be. Here comes Amazing as he jumps onto Jankos. Dreams joins the fight as well, and Cozq joins it. There's Jankos going down. Febiven's actually going to get a lot of damage down onto Cozq as Odoamne's TP'd in. The knockback on Febiven as he goes into the Dragon Pit. Amazing tries the body slam but cannot connect, and now Nuclear is here as well. Amazing, no flash, no body slam, no hope of living as Odoamne gobbles him down.
Meanwhile, though,
H2K.
Look at Kikis in the top lane, just going crazy on that tower. If he takes it down early, that's still huge for Mysterious Monkeys. They got a kill onto Jankos. This tower will die next wave. There's no TP from Odoamne, so there's going to be first turret for Mysterious Monkeys. All the goals straight in the pocket of Kikis. This Trundle is getting very fed in the side lane, and H2K, they have to team fight their way out of it. They're trying to find a pick here.
The hook onto Dreams will connect. He has got flash. Trying to get back to Yuki as well. The exhaust comes out to jump away with a grand entrance, but he still goes down to the explosive shot from Nuclear, and Nuclear's not done. He wants to jump on towards Yuki, trying to split the atom as Yuki gets taken out. A double kill for Nuclear.
Just when we see Kikis get that top lane tower, Odoamne waited in the bottom lane, sacrificed everything for basically his bottom lane. I'm not sure what he sacrificed because he just got something bot lane, but anyway, he was bot lane. And suddenly they get a tower in return and kills for Nuclear.
And they will get the tower
they will
in the end. Odoamne able to bite that one down. And it equalizes the gold once again. H2K are slightly ahead in terms of kills, but it all starts off with Chei and Jankos and Febiven making these plays.
Well, so we see the setup here with Amazing showing up instantly, and it's actually 3v2 for quite a while. I love the fact that Dreams just applies, you know, the ignite there onto Jankos, so even though he's up in the air, he's still gonna end up dying when he comes down. And Amazing can't fault him for this all in. He thinks he can kill Febiven, but that's a great lantern from Chei. And now obviously you are caught as the Gragas. The problem for Mysterious Monkeys is the next thing. They think Odoamne has recalled and gone top lane to get the farm. Odoamne, a man who plays for his team, sits bot lane, says, I don't care about top lane farm, it can all die to the tower. He wants the bot lane tower and he wants some kills for Nuclear, and that is exactly what actually managed to succeed here and work for H2K. And the fact to get the 2 kills and tower is huge, because otherwise it would have been Kikis getting that top lane, you know, get really far ahead just individually, and nothing coming in return for H2K.
However, Kikis does have a 30 CS lead now in that top lane, and when we saw the Mysterious Monkeys in Challenger Series, he was the member that they prided themselves on fighting around. Chei actually going to get caught out here. He was actually on Fnatic Academy in the Challenger Series, of course, and that's another kill for the Mysterious Monkeys. Kikis trading into Odoamne, who can sustain himself up with that passive. Carnivore does give him a bit of health back. Jankos is just around the corner as well as Kikis realizes he's in a 2v1, dodges the cocoon and the rupture. Odo does have Feast, so Kikis has to flash away. He uses the Frozen Domain to try and escape.
Oh, he wants to kill Odo!
Oh, he kills Odo from the bush. And Jankos as well cannot trade into the Troll King. Kikis brings out a little bit of damage in the bottom lane. Febi's here, but here comes Cozq as well. And Cozq has heal, but he doesn't want to heal his teammates. Instead, he jumps in onto Nuclear, already killing Jankos. Nuclear manages to take out Cozq, and the Troll King dies as well.
All right, that was a 2 for 2, but now the Monkeys will get Rift Health. The bot lane tower is extremely low. That's like 1 hit for Kikis and he will kill it. So while they ended up trading even now, I definitely feel like the Monkeys end up winning out here, because now they can get something with the Rift Health, and that bot lane tower will die soon enough and get even more gold for the team. Febiven managed to come down and pick up the kill. Very important for him again on this Lucian to be so strong in the side lane, because as we can see here, Odoamne can't handle Kikis 1v1. It's slow fights. It takes a while for Trundle to kill him, but he will win out on these trades here and just out-sustain the Cho'gath, and in the end he will take towers. That's the goal of Trundle.
So we see, as we wanted to see, Febiven split pushing. We'll have another look at this fight, and then we'll talk about how strong that Lucian is.
Yeah, so the whole key with Trundle is, like, if he keeps auto-attacking, especially with his Ravenous Hydra, like, his sustain is fantastic. If you can ever CC him, you can burst him down pretty quickly. All the CC missed here, and Kikis, let's say, actually dodged it. So let's give credit to him instead. And then when Odoamne is like, I got Feast, I'm so close. Well, Kikis turns around with the active, kills him instantly. Jankos will even drop the Cozq, ends up using his flash. So while there's some return kills for H2K, the damage is already done. Like, the tower is taking damage, Rift Herald is gone, the Trundle is getting fed, and that is the problem. Good little side steps there from Kikis, making sure that he was staying safe, and not dead yet. Give him 1 hit, and he will take tower.
And Febiven is actually now splitting in this side lane. It's what we wanted to see from him. My question is, can he deal with Kikis in the 1v1? Because Kikis has Ninja Tabe and the Ravenous Hydra.
He can deal with the Trundle in 1v1 much easier, because one, he has a dash against a pillar. He also has the Blade of the Ruined King to actually try and get away from Kikis. The Cho'gath has no chance of keeping Kikis away from him. Lucian at least will have a chance to just even clear waves against each other. And then the Cho'gath can go to the opposite side with TP, and no one from Mysterious Monkeys really wants to go and deal with him in just a pure 1v1 setting, because there is of course a TP on the side of Odoamne. And right now they're sending Xayah and Rakan, which is okay.
H2K played relatively well in this early game, Mysterious Monkeys being able to answer them, but we have to remember this is the first in a process of games for H2K across this week of the LCS. Unicorns play up against Vitality in the next game. If Unicorns win that and H2K win this, that final game is so paramount because it means this game will end up being the deciding game for the winner of Group B.
Yeah, and this game is the last one of the regular season. So on Sunday, the late game, it is Unicorns will love H2K. We're all hoping it means, you know, the battle for first place. Unlike that Fnatic G2 one tomorrow, which is just going to be two teams maybe having a bit of fun before playoffs, but I'm still kind of hyped to watch that.
It's very likely it will be the battle for first place as well, because the only way it's not the battle for first place is if H2K win this series and Unicorns lose their series. And as much as Unicorns have perhaps looked a bit up and down, most people expect them to be able to take out Vitality. That's a loaded phrase.
I agree. I mean, we also expected the teams yesterday to just win, and that didn't happen. So there's always a chance. That being said, this game here, amazing. Much better early game from his side on this Gragas. He actually successful ganks and also found Jankos in that river, this bot lane tower, finally going down. So Mysterious Monkeys cashing in on some of the work they did beforehand. Kikis is dumpstering Odoamne right now in the side lane, and only Febiven can hold him, but Febiven can't really move to the lane because, again, no teleport. So when you sit against a TP guy, he just TPs away, and then suddenly your team will start falling behind on the other side of the map.
The Mysterious Monkeys will be very happy with the way this game's gone as well. At the 18-minute mark, they have a gold lead over the leaders of Group B, and they're coming into the promotion tournament with a much bigger confidence boost than they would have had after game one. Now they're going to group up as 5 members mid and look for the third tower of this turret line. H2K trying to defend. Here comes the Weaver's Wall from Cozq. Will catch Nuclear out. The Riptail's going to fall as well, but Odoamne tries to jump away. He's so low. The triple charm as well from Dreams, and H2K are getting routed underneath the tower. There's no minions left, but there's no Chei left either. Febiven joins a little bit too late. Mysterious Monkeys take 2 and can look for a push with this next wave.
Yeah, they group around the Riptail. They use a nice Taliyah wall from Cozq as well, and then suddenly Odoamne finds himself a little bit too far forward. Mysterious Monkeys with great CC chaining here. Dreams on Rakan, getting a lot of revenge from the last game where he didn't manage to succeed with his engages because the team was already so far down. But this one, they're now 3,000 gold ahead of H2K. Like, it's a complete turnaround. Look at this setup here. Riptail with Cozq's ulti from Taliyah to try and make sure H2K completely split up. And then Odoamne, as soon as he gets knocked back here by Cozq, everything just follows. Like, ton of CC landing onto him, so much damage in the early game, and great setup from Mysterious Monkeys, and that's another tower for them. And with the split pushing Trundle that no one can stop, easily at least, Mysterious Monkeys, they're looking super good now.
Nuclear's going to try and get a tower in response. Will only be H2K's second of the game, and I want to come back to a point we discussed in game one as well. Jankos, although his Elise performance in game one was amazing, up until this point he's been much more consistent when playing tanks than when playing these early game junglers. It tends to be more 50-50 as to whether he'll impact the game when he plays something like an Elise.
Yeah, and in a game like this one, I actually feel like Amazing managed to read Jankos pretty well. Found him a few times in some of the early fights. There was only the very first gank where Amazing went top and Jankos went bot lane. We really saw a big advantage for the Elise. Some of the other times here we've actually seen now. Let's see, actually collapse. Kikis, he's still very strong.
Febiven is going to open up the culling though, and Kikis will flash the wall out of respect. Mysterious Monkeys still at less than 50% win rate when they are ahead at the 20-minute mark. But a 3,000 gold lead is nothing to be sniffed at, with the Baron on the cards as well. Mysterious Monkeys looking to set up around this top side of the map, trying to get some vision down.
So let's see here. Spirit Visage completed for Kikis. If you were already annoyed at his sustain, be more annoyed now. It is only getting better for the Trundle. Once again, you see it is Yuki pushing out a side lane, and they keep Cozq mid, so his ulti can always be used to go to the Kikis lane if needed, and you can suddenly have two members from Mysterious Monkeys showing up in case someone wants to gank the Trundle, and this just makes Kikis so safe to keep pushing. They are around the Baron, not a lot of vision from H2K. They're gonna fight.
No vision. Dreams is gonna jump straight in onto Jankos, and that's the problem when you lose vision in the river. You have to face check. Jankos the face check king in this game rather than the first blood king.
Ooh, that was a spicy one.
You can add it to your rap album. The face check king.
Well, they're starting the Baron right now, Medic, because they already killed the jungler. Very early TP from Kikis to try and make sure they get the objective.
Weaver's Wall is going to close them off as well here. There's still 8,000 health on that Baron, down to 5 now as the TP comes in. Febiven's jumped across the wall and H2K are looking to respond. No jungler, of course. Dreams is going to jump in, 1,000 HP on the Baron. They will kill Dreams, but Amazing secures the Baron for Mysterious Monkeys, and now they're looking for the re-engage. They get another. Chei is dead. It's a killing spree for Yuki. Mysterious Monkeys just trying to reset here as Odoamne, Nuclear, and Febiven try and work out if there's anything they can do. Nuclear says yes as he steps forward. Amazing has to flash out of the back of the pit. Mysterious Monkeys will escape with 4 members and a Baron buff.
I love the setup again here, using Taliyah wall to try and delay H2K, and then Amazing with the ulti on Odoamne. That was an important one because Odoamne tried to get in range to feast. See if you can steal the Baron, but Amazing just knocked him away. Suddenly, Mysterious Monkeys secured it. Nuclear
jumps straight onto Cozq and he'll kill him, and Nuclear jumps back out as well. That's what you want to see from your AD carry when your back's against the wall.
5-0 on this Tristana. He truly is the shining light of H2K right now, and the man who needs to win some of the late game fights for them to get back in this game. Let's see, Jankos forced to face check. Not really a whole lot you can do once you've already stepped in to try and place down the ward. Good vision setup from the Monkeys, and then the follow-up here. Love the wall. Look at Amazing and his ulti as well when he sees Odoamne. He wants to get in range for the feast, just knock him away, and then suddenly you can secure the Baron. And while they do lose one member in the fight, it doesn't really matter because they can just all flash away after. Actually, they just killed Chei, didn't lose him.
They did lose Dreams at the start of the fight.
Ah, that's fine, yeah.
That's fine, it's just a support, guys, it's fine. As long as
support for Baron, I'll take it.
Yeah, and they get the Ocean Drake on top of it as well. So Mysterious Monkeys, we've talked time and time again about their objective control becoming weaker. This is a week where they've really stepped up against H2K in this second game. Now they have Baron buff, they're looking for the push. They've got a bit of a split going on with Kikis in the top lane and Cozq down towards the bottom side.
I want to see if Nuclear can actually stop the Mysterious Monkeys, because right now, Yuki, 2.5 items already. The tanks are pretty big with the Trundle and the Gragas as well on the Monkeys. And obviously, of course, we talk so much about Kikis this game, being able to just dominate the side lane. No TP for him right now, but if he gets to that tier 2 tower up in the top lane, it dies in just a few seconds. And Mysterious Monkeys looking for Jankos again. Been very successful whenever they actually found him.
And they've had a very good vision control game as well. When they've tried to set up, they move these wards in a little bit deeper. They've got a couple of sweepers, as you would expect. H2K have struggled to play around the vision that the Mysterious Monkeys have had, but they will land the cocoon onto Cozq as he puts down the Weaver's Wall. That's a dead Taliyah off towards the top of your screen. Odo wants to run in, the Righteous Glory, the knock-up as well onto Dreams as he jumps in, but now Nuclear can just do whatever he wants on the back line of the fight. He jumps forward, perhaps seeing if he can catch Yuki and Amazing. Will not be able to do it, but they delay the push for Mysterious Monkeys.
If we get a replay here, then I want to see if Cozq actually didn't spot the control ward in the brush he walked into. He just walked in and used ulti. No, actually, I'm just going back on my own screen. There was no control ward when the engage happened, but Jankos and Chei just predicted that Cozq had moved into that little brush. They found him before he could use his ulti and killed him, and then the follow-up engage here. That was the one thing we could have mentioned, was that the Mysterious Monkeys, while they had vision, they didn't have control wards, so they didn't actually deny any vision from H2K deep inside the jungle. And that's why H2K could spot Cozq, sneak his way into that red buff. Caught him, killed him. They delay the Baron buff, they don't lose anything else. And this game is getting so close here towards the late game. Again, we all look at Nuclear on the side of H2K. It's extremely fed Tristana. Well, Kikis on the other side can still try and win in the side lane.
Is it only Kikis that can win for the Mysterious Monkeys?
No.
Yuki's now 3-1 and 2 on this Xayah as well. They have some strengths across the board if they can catch out people or get these fights.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, both carries and Mysterious Monkeys are in a great spot as well to actually win these fights here. So there's no control ward in this brush here with
There
Cozq.
was a ward just at the back pit.
There was a ward there where they saw him walk in, and that's why they could sit there and wait for him and actually take him down. It's a tough one, you know. The setup was simple for Cozq. You put the wall behind the tower, let Yuki get close to actually start killing the tower, and then suddenly one little pesky ward spots you.
Happens all the time. However, Mysterious Monkeys do still have a 3,000 gold lead here, Deficio, and coming into promotions, this is much more what we wanted to see from them. A lot stronger of an early game, coming into the mid game as well. They haven't let up too many obvious weaknesses for Schalke or Giants or NIP to take advantage of.
No, but of course the Mysterious Monkeys have kind of shown a predictable early game pattern, which is success is from Amazing and Kikis playing together. Like, we see it so often. I think in this game here, we mentioned this in Champs League, like H2K said they want to play the Lucian, so they sacrifice Odoamne a bit in the top lane. They don't pick the Renekton and have the Renekton Elise combo that was so successful in game 1 because Febiven didn't play an AP mage in the mid lane. Like, that backfired pretty hard for them because it allowed Kikis to counterpick up top lane, allowed Amazing to play around the top lane. As we said, the Cho'gath in the early game is not as strong. He won't give the same 2v2 pressure in a skirmish, so it was much easier for Amazing to actually execute the classic Mysterious Monkeys game plan, and it's paid off in this game here. Of course, both members have succeeded from it and gotten far ahead in this game. 1-1-6 Gragas with Knight's Vow already completed is much more useful than a 1-3 Elise.
That it is, and it's
big statements, big statements.
You're very good at making these statements that sound like they mean a lot, but really you're saying, oh, this guy with tons of kills, and this guy's with tons of deaths. The one with kills does more damage.
Exactly, and no one can call me out on it.
It's true.
Nice tie.
That should be another song on your rap album. It's the nice tie song. Kikis is going to get jumped on here by Nuclear and Jankos. They have collapsed on him. He's very tanky though. However, all the members of H2K are jumping in. The buster shot as Kikis flashes her into Febiven and Chei. The hook will eventually hit. Here comes Dreams with the charm on 2. Will Mysterious Monkeys go for a full engage? Instead, they decide to disengage. They back away. Took a long time to kill Kikis there, but eventually H2K were able to work their way through the Troll King.
And Mysterious Monkeys right now, they hate that bot side jungle because whenever they walk into it, they get collapsed on and caught out, and it's just skipping a few steps. Kikis walking in before the mid lane was pushed by the 4 members of the Monkeys, meaning that, well, Kikis was alone. No one could actually join him in time, and that's why H2K could just collapse. And while they took their time to kill him, well, seeing as there was such a late reaction from the rest of Mysterious Monkeys, as they were not in a position to react, a kill goes over to H2K.
Let's have a quick look across these items, Deficio. A few are standing out to me. Kikis has gone for the Thornmail completion after that Spirit Visage. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cozq has got Liandry's alongside Morello Nomicon and a Rylai's on that Taliyah.
So, the Thornmail here for Kikis. I'm not always a massive fan of fully completing the Bramble Vest until you have a lot of armor, because of course, again, it scales off a bonus armor for yourself. So the Bramble Vest already gives you, you know, the healing reduction, which is the main thing you're kind of looking for against, you know, Blade the Ruined King, Lucian, and so on. But I think at this point it's still fine for him. He does have the nibs happy, and I think he just wanted to actually fully complete the Bramble Vest and just say, you know what, Thornmail will benefit me. But normally, getting another armor item first is actually better, just for pure efficiency. He doesn't care in this game, though.
Optimizing the build as much as you can. H2K seem to have tried to optimize this strategy a little bit more. There was a while where Febiven was not in a side lane, wasn't pushing out by himself like we wanted to see him do. Now he has begun to move into the side lane, but once again he groups up with the rest of H2K in the mid as Kikis is down towards the bottom side taking the Ocean Dragon.
And you can actually see on the other side, kind of the build I was mentioning just before here, where you start getting some of the other armor items in before you fully upgrade. Look, you see Odoamne, he wants the Stone Plate first, then he can go for a Thornmail much later in the game. Obviously in this case, Kikis does not want Stone Plate because he wants to deal damage. You know, he wants to be in everyone's faces and actually kill them. So that makes a lot of sense for him, but just different choices, different preferences from top laners. This game here though, we're still looking at Nuclear with 3.5 items fully completed here. on Tristana 7-0 so far. It's not often you lose a game as a 7-0 AD carry, but it might happen today because the Monkeys still slightly ahead in this game.
And it's not often Nuclear loses when he's playing Tristana as well. Yet to be defeated this split on that champion.
So far 1-0.
3-0.
Ah.
3-0.
I was hoping it would be 1-0. It would be great.
Febiven is also 2-0 on Lucian.
He actually was the man who pulled up the Lucian stats. Who was the guy who pulled them down? Do you remember?
I want to say it was Perks.
It was Perks. It was definitely Perks. He tried his hardest to keep them down and start the split, and then he dared tell me on Twitter yesterday that his Lucian was always clean.
I mean, is it clean if someone cleans up the blood splat where your dead body is?
Maybe.
Get a janitor in afterwards to clean up the mess.
It's all banter, by the way. Perks is a great Lucian player. Do not get fooled by our little tweets at each other.
All of our mid laners in EU are definitely at the top of their game. That's why it's so hard to decide between them. And even Cozq, a mid laner that has been set to be quite low in the standings, is looking a lot better this game. H2K and Mysterious Monkeys dancing around each other in the mid lane. No one quite able to find the engage they would like.
No, they're all kind of fighting over the Baron here, trying to get control of mid first. Amazing is the one we're looking at together with Dreams for the main engage on Mysterious Monkey's side. And all about protecting that backline for H2K. You need to keep Febiven and Nuclear alive. Give them time to kill the tanks on Mysterious Monkeys, otherwise you will lose the fight instantly as H2K. Jankos right now is just a CC machine.
I agree.
There we go.
I mean, I am casting the promotion tournament, so I have a slight bias towards wanting it to be an enjoyable tournament, but I think we can all agree with Mysterious Monkeys playing well against H2K, with NIP taking down Fnatic, with both of our challenger teams going 3-0 or 3-1 in their playoff tournaments.
Yeah.
It's looking very strong.
I mean, I'm always excited for promotion tournament. I think when there's so much at stake, it just makes it so interesting to watch. Like, literally playing for jobs right now, these teams, and no one wants to lose the LCS spot. If you're already in, and if you are a challenger team, you worked so hard to get to this point. It feels real bad if you just walk into the tournament and don't actually make it all the way into the LCS.
You see quite a difference between the way these two teams have reacted to having a strong top laner as well, because in game one, H2K were able to snowball it into a massive lead, finishing the game about the 26-minute mark. Here, Kikis still has a CS advantage. He's still 60 farm ahead. But H2K have been able to delay the game a little bit more, draw it out towards this 32-minute mark, and now we're seeing fights over mid-priority, fights over vision around the Baron.
Yeah, and it does mean the value of the Trundle does go down, compared to if he was just sitting in the side lane and split pushing, you get the full amount of value from him. Now he's in a team fight, though.
Amazing tugged up, but the charm comes in. Odoamne fists! He's going to be pretty drunk after eating down the Gragas, and now with the jungler gone, Mysterious Monkeys have to give up a bit of ground.
Chei died as well. Mysterious Monkeys did manage to get one kill. Dreams had to use his ulti for that. See what happens here. Odoamne still feeling fairly healthy. Everyone walks away. But again, the fact that the Trundle is sitting with the team to try and guarantee mid lane control for the Monkeys means that Kikis is forced to team fighting, which is what Odoamne wants. He wants to team fight with the Cho'gath. They're fighting now.
Febiven's going to jump back in. Dreams gets the knock-up. Gargoyles from Odoamne. Nuclear's trying to get damage out, but he's locked out of the fight, and that's 7 kills that you're not getting anything out of. But he's going to try and get the flank. He cannot quite kill Dreams. Kikis jumps forward onto the front line. Mysterious Monkeys need to get away from the cocoon. A good flash from the Trundle will escape.
That was another great wall from Cozq. She just highlighted right there, keeping Nuclear out of the fight early on meant they forced the flash from Odoamne. Nuclear is still hiding in the brush with Febiven.
Knock up with the pillar. Teleport is going to come in from Odo. He's got Feast up once again, and it looks like H2K are going to go for the Baron now. They've got Feast. They have a lot of damage with this double AD carries. They've got a hook as well onto Kikis. Amazing looking for the steal. Can he get it across the wall? We saw so many steals yesterday. Amazing jumps in, but cannot steal away the Baron as Jankos secures it with the smite.
Great call there from H2K. Nice setup from Odoamne as well. First the knock up, then the silence onto Amazing, trying to delay him from getting into the Baron pit. And H2K, despite still being down in gold, they turn it around. We keep talking about how they are team fighting. As 5, the Trundle is no longer split pushing threat because he's sitting mid lane. Kikis has been around that mid lane for the last 5 to 6 minutes, and that just means that Odoamne actually suddenly brings more value to the table because he's a Cho'gath in team fights. And this has been huge for H2K. Now Kikis is back in the side lane. Meanwhile, H2K have still not killed this mid lane tower.
It will only be their 3rd tower of the game. In fact, only the 6th tower of the game for either team if they do manage to take it down. And I want to come back to something you specifically talked about earlier on about how H2K should play this composition, because what we haven't seen from them is Febiven splitting really at all. There was a very short period where he went into another lane.
But that's the reason that Febiven never got to actually play like any sort of split pushing role, was because they fell behind and they had to just be very defensive, and they realized they couldn't stop Kikis with the TP in the side lane. So H2K just shifted and said, you know what, this is not about us applying pressure onto Mysterious Monkeys, it's about defending, getting to late game teamfights with 2 or 3 items, and then Kikis might not be as successful as a split pusher anymore because it gets harder and harder for him to push further and further into the base of the enemy, and he needs to join team fights against some of the engaged from H2K's side, and it just actually benefited them quite a lot that they just shifted around. Now see a fight.
Dream's going to jump onto Febiven. The Lantern will get him out already. The shutdown onto Yuki. He still had flash, but Chei was able to catch him. The tower will fall as well.
And that was such a sick fight from Chei right there. Lantern on one side to keep his AD carry, so he's mid laner alive, and then he hooks people.
Another hook onto Cozq, a legendary nuclear yet to be killed. He's jumping. He wants even more. H2K, the game has gone long, but they're looking to close it out.
They defended. They got to the 5-on-5 team fights. They didn't have to play aggressive in this game here. They did fall behind early, but the turnaround with double AD carry and a fantastic Thresh performance from Chei means that H2K right now, they're looking for the finish.
They're going to get a few more kills just to top up their stats. One Nexus tower between them and the 2-0 in the series. And H2K are going to look straight into the eyes of the Unicorns of Love and say, your move.
Dramatic. As you can see, everyone on the side of H2K, massive smiles, especially Febiven is ecstatic over that Lucian performance. That was actually kind of game where H2K will be a little bit unhappy. They'll be like, huh, what happened early on? We just stomped them in game 1. That was not supposed to happen in game 2. They had the Elise again. You know, they had a strong mid lane matchup, good bot lane, they could play around. Could even try and gank the Trundle top lane, but none of it actually worked early. So they fell behind. I like the adaptation into defensive mode, kind of abusing Mysterious Monkeys and them skipping a few steps. Like, remember the times where they walked into the bot side jungle? It backfired every time, and they gave away a lot of kills.
That they did. I think we're going to talk a lot more about H2K, especially with their rivalry against Unicorns of Love in Group B across the rest of the week. I want to have a quick, concise evaluation of the Mysterious Monkeys going into the promotion tournament, because they've got Giants and they've got Schalke and they've got NIP there as well. Do you think that Mysterious Monkeys are going to be able to stay in the LCS?
I was asked this on Twitter, and I realized, like, predicting the promotion tournament right now is basically impossible. Like, I know it's a boring answer, but the fact that, of course, we haven't seen Schalke and Giants play against LCS teams makes it hard to predict the actual level. And then at the same time, like, Mysterious Monkeys right now, I think they look weaker than NIP going into this tournament. But that might also be just the recent bias, because NIP did suddenly beat Fnatic yesterday, which was very unexpected. We have to remember, Fnatic didn't play for anything. Like, they were already locked first. Yeah, they had some serious picks, but they could also just have been more relaxed. So I find it super difficult to actually predict who is the favorites going into that tournament. I think NIP look like probably the strongest team. But again, this is without seeing the challenger teams play against actual LCS teams.
That's always the difficulty. We've seen them play against challenger teams, not against the LCS teams yet. Jankos is going to give us an interview in just a couple of seconds, I believe. We're just getting that one set up. And it's important to note that throughout the series, we talked a lot about Chei in that bottom lane, some great Thresh plays. He is the player of the series for that series against the Mysterious Monkeys. I know you're a big Chei fan. What is it particularly that you love about this player?
I love the consistency for Chei right now. I almost never see him and Nuclear lose the bottom lane early on, and I like the fact that he's so active on the map as well. Like, he always teams up with Jankos. They find some place or vision for the team, and I think the fact that he's becoming more of a playmaker also really benefits H2K in the summer split, like Thresh being one of the big ones for him. So I think Chei is actually offering a lot of things as a support. I also know they really want him to be a very vocal member on this team, and something they're still working on. So he's important for these guys, and he needs to perform for them to actually make it all the way to the final.
I definitely performed in that series. It was a great series from H2K, and you can't take anything away from them. Mysterious Monkeys maybe put up a little bit of a challenge in game 2, but coming into the playoffs, it's a very good position for H2K to be in.
Yeah, again, they're putting all the focus on Unicorns of Love right now. They have to win the next series, and then H2K needs to just beat them on Sunday to lock in that first place and skip quarterfinals.
I can't wait for that Sunday matchup. It's going to be amazing. But after falling behind early, H2K came back to secure the win. Let's see what their jungler has to say after that series.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I am joined by Jankos. Jankos, congratulations on the win. I just want to know, I feel like I used to see you on the stage, you used to laugh and smile and have a good time. And now every time I see you on the stage, you are super serious. You look like you are laser focused. Is this an attitude change from you? Am I reading this wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I think overall I'm just trying to be more serious before playoffs, because every time I'm going to playoffs, I'll be all the same, like, joking around and having fun. But I think it's time to win, maybe. And Sunday will be the first important match, I would say, in which we can test our strength against you all. And as you could see, this game was pretty close, so we will see how it works.
Yeah, I'm curious how you're feeling about that match. You guys are very close to securing first place, but of course it depends on Unicorns of Love beating Vitality, and of course you guys beating the Unicorns of Love. Now, historically, they have been kind of your guys' kryptonite, especially in this year. Are you feeling confident about being able to beat them going into that match?
I mean, if we want to keep up with the statistics, then, we won all the matches against the lower teams, so it's time to lose all of them against the better teams. But I think we can beat them. We have a shot for sure. I think the meta right now suits them and everyone else. Like, the meta is the same for everyone, and them going 5-man mid is not going to be that powerful, hopefully. I mean, I'm saying this now, and then when we all die and they get Nash, it's a blower. But, I mean, we will just try our best, and Monkeys, they played very similar to you all. They just grouped around the map and they were forcing us 5. They had, stronger split push, blah, blah, blah. And we stole the game, we got the Nash, we won the game. Worst case scenario, if you lose early game against you all, I think you all team fights are way better than Monkeys, but for sure we can bounce back, just in case though, because we plan to win early game, right?
Yeah, planning to win early game, you say you can bounce back just in case. How do you feel about those individual matchups across the lanes? Do you think that there's any big differences, or is it just depends on who shows up on the day?
I mean, it hardly depends. I think you all's bot lane is way more aggressive and punishes the lane way more, depending on the draft though, because if they play Xayah Rakan, they will try to 2v2 a lot. If they play Twitchy, they will go for late game. Vizitazi always plays super... Holy moly, macaroni, man. Well, Vizitazi plays really, up always, and he tends to die a lot, and, jungle is 24/7 farm, and mid lane is like, kinda, like, he will die if you camp him, but he's like good player because he goes for out of outplays. So it's hard to read them sometimes, because if all 3 lanes play aggressive, then where is the jungle, And then the jungle is nowhere and he's farming. And then you are losing all 4 lanes. And they're like, what is happening, So I think overall they are for sure all better players than Monkeys and also a better team. That's why it's going to be harder, but they are beatable for sure. And I can also hope that my old friend Vander will beat them, and then we don't even care about this match because we'll still be first.
And you had so much to say about the team style. It sounds like it might be kind of difficult to know what to expect from Unicorns of Love. But aside from securing first place, just looking forward to playoffs, how do you feel about H2K right now as a team? How do you feel about your guys' chances? What are you shooting for?
Well, top 3, as always, H2K. If we go to semis, I think we lose and then we win, and it's perfect. No, I mean, we will be shooting for first place. I mean, come on, like, why are you even asking this question? But how do I feel about it? We have a lot to improve on.
Well, let's say this. Last year, you were the top-performing European team at Worlds. Do you feel like you're stronger now than you were then comparatively, or do you feel like you're weaker as a team?
I believe that our playstyle changed, and right now, I would say that the people I'm working with are 10 times easier than before.
Subtle flame.
And that's what makes the team atmosphere better. And last time, we also, we went by points, right? We didn't have to prove ourselves in the gauntlet or in the first place. Like, we lost semis to someone, I don't remember who. So this time, I mean, I never went to finals. Maybe, maybe I suck in playoffs, maybe not. We will see, you know.
All right, sounds like you're pretty calm about it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Congrats again on your win versus Mysterious Monkeys. But as you mentioned, we're about to find out if they will secure first place even before our Sunday matches, as Vitality goes head-to-head with the Unicorns of Love when we return.
H2K just one game away from a 2-0 sweep. We'll get the play back. Dreams jumps across the wall. There is a hook. Cocoon. The hook. Febiven trying to get the kill across the wall. First blood. What comes out the jump away with a grand entrance, but he still goes down to the explosive shot from Nuclear. And Nuclear's not done. He wants to jump on towards Yuki, trying to split the atom as Yuki gets taken out. A double kill. A little bit of damage. Febi's here. But here comes Cozq as well. And Cozq has heal, but he doesn't want to heal his team.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Our push.
No jungler, of course. Dreams is going to jump in 1,000 HP on the Baron. They will kill Dreams, but amazing secures the Baron for Mysterious Monkeys, and now they're looking for the re-engage.
For the finish.
They're going to get a few more kills just to top up their stats. One Nexus tower between them and the 2-0 in the series. And H2K are going to look straight into the eyes of the Unicorns of Love and say, your move.